What up, YouTube? It's your boy Detroit Love with another video. So I purchased both backlit marquees. I received both. They both have issues. They both sent out remedies. Let's see what happened. I wasn't sure what everybody was talking about because I hadn't really paid much attention to the graphics. Everyone was saying that they're washed out, and I didn't really get what they were saying until I put this one over it. I mean, these colors are rich and these colors are not rich. That is quite clear now on how it could look. Versus the way it does in fact look. So yes, it is washed out. Now the retro collector has promised me that this was a bad batch, that they had gone with a different person due to a whole lot of different circumstances, and now that they're doing them in-house and doing them correctly, and they promised to send me out replacements. So apparently they're saying, even though there's no give on these things, they're on their well that I can take this off and apply the new one. So we shall see what comes of that marquee. But you know, I was just looking at the illumination and saying, well, it looks great, but now having put the richer marquee on here, even with the light going through the other one, it is really evident in the lack of color on the first one. So I am hoping that this gets remedied quickly. This is the retro collector's backlit marquee for the Arcade1Up. Now this is the marquee that I received probably about a week and a half ago, and you've seen it on the part 1 of the Backlit Marquee series. And I really had high hopes for this company. When I received this particular marquee here, I was disappointed by the shape of it, the color, the faded colors in it, you know. And they told me it was a bad batch, that they had gotten a vendor. They said it was out of their control, but obviously that's not out of their control because they picked the vendors, and it's not out of their control because they look at the stuff before they send it out. But I understand you're a young company trying to do things really fast and obviously made some poor choices. But they said they rectified that. They started going in-house and that they will send out a new vinyl. Now this vinyl is on here, it's adhered on here pretty good. There's no raised edges or anything, so I'm not even sure how I would take off this vinyl here to put the replacement on. But it's a very smooth finish. Now I just have this in a box that the original marquee came in, so I know it's the right size, just to backlight this sign for you, because it's not installed on the machine. And so, like I said, I had high hopes for it. I said, well, they'll ship out. He was very apologetic. He said he'll ship out the vinyl to replace it, that it'll be simple to replace. And again, I had no instructions with the initial package. I have no instructions with this, so I'm not sure how I will go about taking off. But I received the vinyl today, and let's see what I received. Okay, so I received this vinyl, which indeed does have richer colors than the one that was received previously. But they didn't even bother cutting it out. I'm not even sure if that vinyl line is straight or not. I mean, look at the border. I mean, who ships stuff out like this? So I got 3 sides of the marquee that I have to cut out myself. And I'm assuming it's a sticker. But in addition to that, now this material is smooth vinyl, as you would expect it to be, like a sign. This feels like I don't even know what this feels like.
What is that, velvet?
It doesn't feel like a sign for an arcade machine. It feels like something that you would maybe have on a coaster, vinyl on a coaster maybe. I don't know. So it's a matted finish for one. So it has no. It's kind of hard to see. It has no shine to it at all. It's printed on a matted textured. It's a textured finish. So once I do get this cut to size, however I'm going to do that, I don't even think it's the right texture to even allow the light to shine through properly. Let's take this guy out. Well, since I had my tools for working on my homemade or DIY marquee, I'm just going to go ahead and cut this. Though I shouldn't have to do this if I got it for free. I definitely shouldn't have to do this as a paid customer for this product. This material is so thin. I thought the thickness was the vinyl and the paper was the thinnest piece, but that's the opposite. Like I missed a little bit on the top. That's just the paper that will come off. Alright, so we have something that resembles a marquee. Okay, so again, I just have this propped in the box because I still have to take the old marquee off, or the vinyl off some kind of way. But I mean, it is very obvious that this is textured. Look at the whites. I mean, it's a texture. It's like, I don't know what. I mean, it's a very familiar pattern for vinyl that I have on something around the house. Something very familiar, but I just can't place it right now. But it's definitely not. You can look at the texture in all these letters. I mean, the colors are definitely richer. It still doesn't have the Bally thing, which is on the original pictures I saw back in January that made me say, hey, I want to support these guys and get their product. It still is not that Galaga sign. But that's really weird. Why would they pick this texture? You can see each letter is textured. I mean, it doesn't look bad lit up. Now imagine it wouldn't look, you know, too bad as far as the colors and the light coming through the product. But why is it not shiny? Why is it not slick vinyl that the sign should have? This is crazy. So this is Galaga. Let's take a look at Street Fighter. Okay, so here's the Street Fighter. Again, this is inside a box. It's not on the Arcade1Up cabinet. And you know, because this box distributes that light a lot better, you don't see that big blob in the center. This is the same light that you saw in another video, whereas the I got one right in front of me here. This LED under cabinet bar that I really like. That's the same thing that's in there. You see the lights distributed well. So, but you know, the actual color of the logo is very faded. Very faded. Doesn't have the Capcom. So they told me the same thing. Hey, we had the wrong vendor. We got it fixed. We got it doing it in the house. We're doing it right. Let me put this in the mail for you and take care of you. And so this is how they took care of me. Threw this in the box. Real quick job. Vinyl's not cut on basically all four sides because you got a thin border there. But the colors are richer. You see that? But it's a pattern. So you can actually see these white lines, these vertical lines going straight up and down on this because they're using some weird textured matted vinyl for the marquee. It's bizarre. Look how close that is to the border, the top border. So that's going to look weird compared to this one where you have plenty of room above and below. This one has barely some space below and nearly no space above. So let's get this cut up and see what it looks like inside the box. It definitely won't even look, so I mean, as bad as this appeared with a third-party vendor, it appears that the third-party vendor had a much better product than the in-house textured matte finish vinyl that the retro collector is choosing to use. So I'm very dissatisfied. I can't see anybody buying this being satisfied with it, even if they have it on. Versus me, I gotta take this off. In this case, I'll be better off keeping this light one, but again, this is was intended to be a giveaway to you guys, the listeners. And yeah, while you will get it for free, it's still terrible. Terrible. Now, again, people are doing DIY products that look way better than this. But again, this comes down to the choice of vinyl. I did send, when they were saying they were having trouble with vinyl, I sent them the link to Broad Street Vinyls, which is the vinyls that I showed you previously. And he said he would look into those guys. Well, obviously, he's choosing not to go with quality products. We go back over here. Now he did send me this Mortal Kombat 10, but again, it's the same thing. It's a textured finish that, if you just look at this guy's face, it just doesn't look. You know, this is 10, so it's supposed to look smooth and tinny, even with the vinyl on it. This looks crazy with this textured, matted texture. So I don't understand it. I don't understand the choices. But again, here's the Broad Street side, and you know, and the Street Fighter is somewhere around here. It's got all the right words and everything it's supposed to have. These don't. So very, very disappointed. But let's see what the other one looks like. Again, in the box, this doesn't look too bad. Just a little washed out graphics. But let's take a look at the thing they sent me. Let's trim that up. And I don't even know what I would do with this, because I'm not even sure why I'm even trimming it up, because there's no way I would put this on that marquee, because it is a far less, is a far inferior product than the inferior product that was received initially. Oh, come on. See? So I shouldn't have to rely on my terrible skills to cut a product. I'm sure that. But unfortunately, even with my horrible skills, I don't think I can mess this product up any more than what it is. To be honest with you, it's not. And you know, when people say, "Oh, it looks better in person," this doesn't look better in person. Let's get this in the box, see how it looks. Again, the colors are much richer than the other one. Okay, so this is obviously is what new customers are receiving. So I had someone on my channel feed asking me what material was used for the one that I had. And he asked me if it felt like fabric. And I said, no, what do you mean by that, fabric? Now I see exactly what he means by that. So even though this color is much richer, it is, and this boxing effect is only because I just can't get this in there right, but this is, come on. I don't know. You can see all the texture. Look at the blacks. I mean, it's not what you would expect to see on a marquee at all. Should be a smooth, shiny surface, not a dull, matted, textured surface. So a few people have asked me, of the two, the retro collector backlit marquee for the Arcade1Up cabinets versus the Arcade Game Factory's backlit marquee for the Arcade1Up cabinets, which one did I prefer? And I said I would hold my opinion until I received the replacements. Now they both goofed up initially. The marquee that I received from these guys, the retro collector, came washed out and lacking color and lacking the logos, the additional logo portions that they should have. And I said, well, let me see what they sent me as a correction. The Arcade Game Factory, their L-shaped bracket on the bottom was broken on the one that came initially, and he initially said, I'm going to send you out some glue and you can just glue it up. And I thought, you know, no big deal. Even their broken one would be better, a better object or product than the other one. So this is the one without the. So I have some epoxy glue somewhere. I can correct this. Look like something happened on here. It's bubbling up. Might be. I should be able to get that air bubble out. I mean, as far as the finishes, they had some rougher, you know, cut jobs on theirs. The retro collector on their initial products had no such issues. These, where's that? These stickers were on here as if they were made on here. You would find no separation, but the other guys, the Arcade Game Factory, their cuts are not as seamless, but overall it's a better product. So this is the one that I received with the broken piece to it. You see it looks fine in there, so here's the piece that needs to be glued on. But then he decided, no, he ended up sending me not only just a full marquee that was fixed or proper, he also included the additional upgrade to the $5 add-on for the black trim. So he wanted to make sure his product was shown in the best light, pun intended. So they both screwed up and they both made amends to correct it. It's just that the retro collector, their correction is by frankly worse than the error. So of the two, I would have to choose the Game Factory, the Arcade Game Factory's marquee, because this stuff is just not right. This definitely wins. I don't know. These guys are making. You know, it's nice to be able to buy a ready-made product to just simply install it and be done. But these guys, both of these guys, I think is making a valid, making DIY a very valid option. After all, if you're talented in any sense of the way, the crafty, it may just make sense, because you're going to end up with a product that you intend to get versus the unexpected. But of the two, you know, these guys win the prize over these guys. So this is the retro collector. This is the arcade game factory. All right, guys. Someone asked, where is the placement of the LED strip from the arcade game factory? I placed it right on the top of this A panel. That is the bezel that holds the monitor. I set it right up on the top of this and put it just on the front edge of this A panel. So it's not on the very top, it's not flat on the top, it's stuck to the front edge of this panel, and that's how I was able to create this look here. Until next time, with the least amount of shadow
on the web,
shadowing or boxing.
Subscribe.
So I think it turned out really good.
Yada yada yada.
So
you know the drill.
Enjoy.
Help us grow.
And thanks for watching, guys.